Good evening and welcome to Odessa the Dark Crusade. Tonight we have a scene fairly early in the morning. Well, in the night. Madeline has risen. She's doing a thing, more than one. But she is, just being busy around the house. And, yeah, for the moment she's just writing a letter and she is getting ready for, well, the night's normal.
Uh,
Ups and downs.
Thorval will come in through the main door of the estate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he comes straight into where she is in the study and stands there looking at her for a few seconds
Hmm.
before coming over and is she sat down or she stood
She
up?
is.
He comes to the chair that she sat on, and he grabs it and pulls it out. So she's pulled away from the desk.
She will just say, a simple "I need to speak" will do.
He just he puts his hand on her face and just looks at her, seemingly searching for something.
Well, he sees Madeline. She looks. I mean, she looks focused, but a little tense, perhaps.
I thought the prince was going to kill you.
Well, I still need to see what will happen. As of yet, I have not heard anything. I will take my punishment. Stay calm. But I was defending her and everyone in that room. Would I have been able to do much? Not really. But that will be my defense. May not be very good, but that is the truth. You can tell that's probably not the entire truth, but she seems to be putting up a front to say that was her intention.
One of you put a cloud around the prince, and I couldn't see what I was doing.
That was not me. I tried to pacify as much as I could the wishing woman, engulfing her as you have seen me do to, well, more than one person. What? A person and a rat. And that is what I was doing, making her less able to move, trying to limit her movements. Irene did this. It was clear from the start that she wished to stop the fighting. She is of my clan. She is the child of a man I will always consider my prince. But her good hearted nature and kindness, and her bluntness and inexperience makes certain things quite a lot harder. The first night of the exhibition, if she had not been there, certain things would have been a lot easier.
Why did you follow her? I saw your shadow.
Follow whom?
Irene.
The night of the prince?
Yeah.
to defend people in that room as much as I could.
It was very silly of you.
The silly part was that I got caught.
He looks frustrated, I should say.
I do not decide who you are wrongly or rightfully challenging for my attentions. That is your right to do with your strength what you wish to do with it. I will never question you in this. And likewise, I do not believe that it is within your right to question what I do. I realize that is not what you are doing. But
Madeline, politics are one thing. What you did was dangerous.
perhaps
You faced me with so many impossible choices.
I think you know that I would take that as a compliment. She smiles lightly.
I suppose you're referencing Primogen Margot.
No. Talking of my nature, my path.
He leans on the desk next to her. I'm faced with a lot of choices at the moment. And skating on very thin ice. I've been ordered to do certain things. And I must do them. But they contradict what I would do if I had the choice.
Is this something you can discuss with me?
Margot. It's time for me to rise in the court. If I'm going to survive in the city any longer. And Margot is the key to that.
By the wishes of your mistress?
The idea was mine.
But she will have to approve for it for you to become more recognized.
She approved. Her weakness for the Toreador is long-standing.
Well, you know of what I think of Margot and the danger she represents, given the fact that infernalists are so hefty a presence in our fair city.
She was cleared of all charges. She's not an infernalist. If she was,
She may not be.
I'd be the first person to see it.
She may not be an infernalist.
She may not.
She can still be bound to a demon nonetheless.
My plan was twofold. gain political influence and get close enough to Margot to see what she really does behind closed doors.
How closely were you planning on getting a look?
As close as she'll let me.
You know my stance. You can go as close as you wish, or think necessary.
Her clan do not approve of our alliance, naturally. Which is why I'm going to be meeting with Lady Beatrice. It's important that Clan Toreador trust me as a whole. And Margot and I are friends. I wanted to see some things for myself.
I can understand. I know your predilection for my sex. I understand. You want to clear her name, to make certain that she is not what some people suspect her of, even what I suspect her of, however slightly that suspicion might be. I want to make certain that you can perhaps even save one more very beautiful woman.
Thorvald rolls his head back in frustration when she says that. It's not about how beautiful she is, Madeline.
No, I know. It is about a person you feel honor bound to protect. I can understand.
If I'm going to survive right now, I can't do it alone. And if you carry on with what you're doing, we're not going to be able to be seen together in public.
Hmm.
My reputation and my honor mean everything to me, and you know this.
How exactly would my actions influence this?
Everybody knows. The Gangrel do not stand on their own. We are a low clan. We are bound by our affiliations.
You are not speaking of what happened at the prince's office. You are speaking of the two of us.
I don't know what I would do if the prince were to punish you.
You will know that whatever punishment, I take them gladly, and that you have nothing to fear from it, and you do not need to do anything, even though you want to.
The night we were in here with your student, I know in logic that you're able to take these tasks, these lessons.
And
Seeing you in pain is another thing.
which is why you must learn to master yourself and your beast. When your enemies will want you to lose control, you will hold on. You will not lose control. It will make you so much stronger.
I don't love Margot.
Perhaps. Madeline sits back a little, seems to think.
I'm a very good liar.
Hmm.
I care for her. Her well-being is important to me. But if she does turn out to be an infernalist, duty first.
It will be very extremely difficult for you. But, and this is very important, whether or not we will be publicly seeing each other at the time.
I can't be publicly seen with her, and our relationship is already established.
There are ways around that, but
I think we're going to have to be a lot more careful. It's a weakness that can be manipulated.
okay.
You saw what I said to the wishing woman.
I know.
I fear her not.
You should.
I know I should, but I don't. I've never feared death. But I do fear losing you.
Hmm. She smiles a little. Well, depending on how we want to do this, we could perhaps create some distance between us.
I have my domain now. I can stay there.
That would be one thing. But perhaps if something public were to go down, the two of us, both at the edge of losing ourselves to the beast. And then you, after that night, going to stay somewhere on your own. People would think that there would be a quite bit of distance between us. That is one way. But tell me, you are to investigate and find out about Margot. If she is clean, she has no connection to it, and it is snapped, and she is free, well, then you do not have any problems. But
The only other person that gets as close to her as I do is Priscilla. And Priscilla is an idiot.
what
She,
I'm,
I,
what I
I,
must say to you is that no matter what would happen, you know that you can speak to me if you feel you have been brought to the brink.
every day in your presence.
Good.
He smiles a bit. Margot cannot use her blood to control me. So I'm safe.
In what capacity? Did she feed you some, or did she try to
If she
manipulate you?
tries, it will not work.
Ah, in that sense. Because of the bond with your sire.
Mm. He nods.
See, I would have thought she would know that by now. Oh well,
I don't tell her as much as I tell you.
I am flattered.
I'm not trying to flatter you.
Mm. Mm.
I'm angry with you.
Oh, I see.
I'm trying to be, at least.
And get all the anger out.
I do not understand why no blood bond exists between us. But I struggle to keep my oaths with others when it comes up against you.
And perhaps you feel that you have an oath that is stronger with me, as I feel that I have an oath with you. If ladies can even take oaths, I'm not certain.
Maybe you should take an oath of silence.
You're funny
He
sometimes.
he shows his teeth, like just in a sort of wolfish grin.
Well, that would be some oath. It would take quite a bit of vitae and blood sorcery to make me swear that oath, but perhaps.
My allegiance with Clan the Sombre remains. I'm just gonna have to be an ally to both the Sombra and Toreador.
Well,
Allow both the ships to fly in the night.
as I will have to. There are, for now, just whispers that I have spent more time with you in recent nights, recent months, than I have with my own clan. Such rumors cannot be allowed to sit. So I, in my own way, will have to dedicate some more time to other matters. Does not make the connection between us any less real.
Do not understand what it is.
I think you do, and I think I do as well. You know, I had never thought it could happen. Not after the first 10 or 15 years.
There are people in my life that I care for deeply. Margot, Gutria, Saida. I never thought I'd feel anything for somebody that wasn't my sire. The effect is strange.
I must admit, I had to take quite a few nights for me to even recognize it, and more nights still to, in my own mind, recognize what it was.
A clever man would run a mile from you. Most likely straight into the arms of Margot. That is what my head tells me to do. I'm going to have to do a lot of convincing with her to make sure that she believes that your relationship is over, as she sees you as strict competition.
Hence my proposal to have a somewhat public fight that would lead some to believe, more, not too public, just one or two witnesses. Soon the word will be everywhere. We have not seen together. You are living somewhere else. We would have to focus our attentions elsewhere, but I wonder if we cannot manage. This would make it a lot more compelling than just your word. If there are rumors seemingly indirect ways coming to her.
I have an idea how I'm going to win her over. So,
Do you intend to let her meet the final death? If your worst fears are confirmed.
yes.
No.
If she is an infernalist, she will die. If she has lied to the prince, broken her vows, and making pacts with demons, she will die.
Fair enough. As I said, my door is always open if you need to speak of it. If we do not hope it does, but if it does come to pass.
Toreador are much easier to trick than the Sombra.
Hmm.
Compared to winning your affections, it'll be a walk in the park.
Since we are putting our cards on the table, do you have any other things you'd wish to speak of?
No. I just wanted to prepare you. I know that your vanity sometimes runs wild with you.
You will see for the first time in a while, Madeline just tries to put, like, I will actually just do a roll for that. We will be in dice roller the 2. That will just be one roll. And it sits up, straight into her back or something. Wow, okay, yeah. She just nods, smiles. I had 6 successes, which is insane. She just sits up, smiles, says, "Do not worry. As you know, I am quite in control, and there are very few things that can get me that flustered."
He undoes the first three buttons of his shirt. You can see that the lotus chain is resting against his flesh.
As he begins, you would just say, there is one of them, as in one of the few things that could fluster her.
He smiles. This remains. He presses it.
She stands up, looks at him. I still wonder, some nights, how it is that I am the one to be so lucky to find you.
Some nights I wonder whether I'm blessed or cursed. I think it's both.
That is funny enough, how I remember quite a few of the kind speak back in the day. Quite many desperate men meeting the right or wrong woman, depending on your perspectives. She smiles.
As long as you know that my duty will always come first. As
I
the
know it will.
mother comes first to you. But that doesn't mean
That you will not question. It does not mean that you will not question my motivations or agree with everything I say. And that, believe me, my dear, my love, is what I want you to. I want you to question. Sometimes you will be right, and sometimes I will recognize that you are right and stop me from doing something too bold.
the other night was too bold.
I am aware. But te- tempers were flying high, and I was, at the moment, quite certain that I was about to meet final death, along with you and many others in that room.
I
I
wouldn't.
might not have been thinking entirely rational and normally.
I wouldn't have let her touch you.
I know. But I will admit that I may not have been thinking 100% clear. That
No,
is all I'm saying.
clearer than Memnon. Clearer than Margot. Obviously, they haven't been faced with a somber shadow before.
Hmm.
Fire is dangerous and ineffective. There was no way of knowing who would be hit by the flames.
It's dangerous with or without La Sombra. Fire is a very good servant, but a much more dangerous master. If it catches something and it catches fire, well, then every one of us will have to flee. That's just nature, which makes it dangerous. But do you want to know what the most terrifying thing was? It was not that people got desperate and began to search for torches to use as weapons. It was not the fact that the wooden stakes they tried to attack her with splintered into a million pieces and were destroyed. She screamed in a way I have not heard before. Only because of your gift was I unharmed.
He bows his head.
You know, I am thankful for you, but this was one thing that I was even more grateful for.
We must strengthen it.
Yes, but in time. As you said before, we should begin to be more careful at this juncture.
He closes. He just steps a little bit closer to her. How careful are we talking?
I do not wish to compromise your job looking into, well, Margot and other things. You're standing with your clan, with your sire. And I need to take care of my clanal relationships.
So I'm guessing this wouldn't be allowed. He kisses her on the shoulder.
Well, you would have to be very careful and very precise and very astute, you know. Take close attention to what you're doing. Very close. She kind of slips off the clothes she's wearing. But I suppose we can do more than one thing at a time. She you will see her fangs distend as she kisses you.
Thorvald leans to, puts his arms around her and blows out the candle. And that'll be the moment we end the scene, I think.
Yeah. Thank you very much, players, for playing and watchers for watching. Good night.